Which stands.
One nation.
Under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Judy, could you do a roll call?
Sure. Chairman Wiley,
Yes.
Vice Chairman Light,
Here.
Commissioners Convery,
Here.
Cruz,
Here.
Deal,
Here.
Jacobs,
Here.
Giuliano, Murray,
Here.
Williams,
Here.
Zulo,
Here.
Okay, adequate notice of this meeting as required by the Open Public Meetings Act of 1975 has been provided by a publication on March 4th, 2021 in the Home News and the Courier News. Prior to approving the minutes, I just want to remind everyone, we do have an executive session we have to do today. Judy has sent everybody through email the phone number to get into that executive session. So we hope it won't last too long, but I think it's an important issue that everybody needs to be updated on. Now, we have the organization regular meeting minutes of February 23rd, 2021. Do I hear a motion to approve, sir?
So moved.
So, second.
And any additions or corrections? If not, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Committee reports. Mr. Murray.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So the Engineering Committee met earlier this afternoon. We spoke extensively about some contracts that will be on the agenda for today. The next phase of the electrical contract work at the landfill is on for today. Beneficial use disposal contracts are on for today. The engineering work for the water quality permitting is on today's agenda, as well as recognition of a public-private partnership that the MQA is looking to move forward. And we'll be taking RFPs for qualified bidders for a food waste facility. And that's all that I have, Mr. Chair. Oh, actually, let me not forget Sayreville. Sayreville should be all wrapped up by May 1st. The contractor has been paid 97.8% of his contract amount. Remaining work is primarily landscaping and paving at this point.
Is there any other committee reports? Next, we are at the point for public comment on resolutions. These are items 7A through 7H. Is there anyone from the public that would like to make a public comment with reference to these resolutions?
Yes, Mr. Chair. This is Charlie Cradaville. Can you hear me?
I can.
Okay. So I did have some questions. Charlie Cradaville, New Brunswick. I'm the editor of New Brunswick Today. Can somebody explain to me Resolution A, the dewatered sludge contract? We'll start with that one.
Sure, Charlie. This is Joe Crine. I'm the executive director. 7A, and I think a logical question might be the difference between 7A and 7B. Dewatered sludge is a process that's completed. Call it a cake. It's essentially a 20% solid, 80% water. It's a beneficial use for us. We have a compost facility in Burlington County that utilizes it. When they don't or transfer out, there are occasions that we'll ship it to Pennsylvania. And that not to exceed number is something, it's over a 2-year contract, and quite frankly, we don't come close to exceeding these kind of numbers in years past.
Okay. So just so I understand.
Did I get that for you, Charlie, or did you have a follow-up? I'm sorry.
Yeah, so just want to understand, correct me if I'm wrong. So this company is going to be paid to take the sludge to Pennsylvania, and
primarily to Burlington County, Charlie.
Okay.
It goes in a truck. And I will tell you with that, that's probably a little too much information, but we've had This is a company we've used the last couple of years after a previous experience, and we're quite frankly happy with the service they provide and timeliness of it.
Gotcha. So they're just being paid to do the transport. Is
To
there
ship
also
this
a cost?
delightful product. That's correct, Charlie. To ship this delightful product down to Burlington County, yes. May I emphasize 20% solid, 80% water. So,
Gotcha. And so there's an additional cost that the folks in Burlington County, do they pay you for it, or do you pay
no,
them
we're
to take
happy
it, or
they
it's
take,
just?
we're happy they take it. I believe we're just happy they take it.
Okay, fair enough. Now, how about B, the $12.9 million
Sure.
biosolids? It's the same kind of thing, transportation?
It's absolutely all transportation, and it's a product that frankly has been treated more. The product that we generally ship out of here is that 20% figure I mentioned to you is at 55%. It's a product, we call it Meadow Life. In this particular case, we ship both A and B, A, for lack of a better way to put it, being Meadow Life, which is dried to a 55% solid, treated, dried, so the pathogens are killed and so on. And a Class B solid is lined, doesn't have a drying aspect to it, so it's a less beneficial use product. But we ship both of those, and Denali does that as well. So it's the difference in the products, that's the shipping.
And where do those products go?
Vast majority of Meadow Life ends up on our landfill, Charlie. We use it as cover.
Okay. I did also want to ask about the final resolution H, the development of a food waste recycling facility, and how exactly would that work? Are there companies that are already, doing this kind of thing?
Sure. If it's all right, Chairman, is that all right?
Go right ahead. Go right ahead.
Sure, Charlie. The intention here is we've begun the process of looking at food waste recycling, which, as you probably know, but just to be implicit, is the opportunity to take the organic waste out of our current trash, which food waste is the general term for it. Anywhere from 20 to 25% of the waste based on estimations. We put out an RFQ, request for qualifications, so that we could find out whether or not there was interest from folks as to whether or not there would be the opportunity for a public-private partnership, which at this point, and I need to find, because we have not gone out for proposals yet. We've taken those qualifications, and we have, in dealing with us as a mill, take that organic waste, potentially recycle it, which is the common consensus is to digest it and make a slurry and create biogas as a result. So we're taking waste and creating energy is our hope here. While we've got the qualifications, we're a long way from certainly building anything or that sort of thing. And yes, it would be at the landfill.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, those were all the questions I had on resolution. Thank you.
Sure, Charlie. Thanks.
All right, next we have the discussion resolutions. Joe, if you could go through those items for us.
Chairman, thank you. Charlie asked a couple as a refresh. They are both for shipping of our sludge at various levels of how that sludge is treated. Item C is with Nigerian. The award Nigerian handles our permitting issues, particularly with water quality out in the bay and the testing and the rest. That's a not to exceed number. That's there for you. Item D, we have surplus property on site. We're looking to anything from vehicles that don't function to the rest, and we're looking to begin an online auction for that. We would ask for your authorization to do so. Item E, as Chairman Murray mentioned in the engineering committee, is the change over to 2 electrical panels for the leak process, and you can see the exceed number there. Item F is people pay us, which is always, as there's up to a potential of 25,000 tons. And if you go ahead and take advantage of that, because we can utilize that soil for cover, that soil's been examined, it's qualified for cover. It's the cousin to item F, essential outside tonnage. You should be aware that Nesta built, Nesta quoted at $23.50 a ton, and the other 2, United Energy and Air Force, agreed to come up to $23.50 a ton for their soil disposal as well. Item H, as Charlie asked the question, and I mentioned, is for the food waste recycling, your consideration that we do have firms that have qualified under our RFQ process, and we're moving forward with a P3 process to potentially go out for an RFP for food waste at the Middlesex County landfill.
All right, next we have a motion to adopt the resolutions A through H. Does anyone want to make a motion?
So moved.
Second.
A roll call vote.
Chairman Wiley,
Yes.
Vice Chairman Light,
Yes.
Commissioners Convery,
Yeah.
Cruz,
Yes.
Steele,
Yes.
Jacobs,
Yes.
Murray,
Aye.
Williams,
Aye.
Zulo,
Yes.
All right, next we have the approval of the bills for solid waste and wastewater divisions. First, let's move for solid waste. Could I have a roll call vote?
I'll move them, Mr. Chairman. Ray Murray.
Is there a second?
Second.
I'll second it. Okay.
All right, roll call vote.
Can I just, real quick, just remember the solid waste and wastewater bills are one document now, so we just have to vote on the
Oh,
one.
okay. Terrific. Does anyone want to modify their motion and their second to include wastewater as well as solid waste?
Mr. Chairman, I will move both sets, the one bill list for both divisions.
And the party that seconded it will also agree to that? Nobody wants to admit that they second this?
Second, Rebecca Williams.
Thank you. Yes.
Vice Chairman Light,
Yes.
Commissioners Convery,
Yes.
Cruz,
Yes.
Steele,
Yes.
Jacobs,
Yes.
Murray,
Aye.
Williams,
Aye.
Zulo,
Yes.
I'm going to invert the order in fairness to the public. We will have an executive session. I don't believe any action is going to take place as a result of that today as a result of that executive session. Leslie, do you want to add anything to that comment?
You are correct, Chairman. The discussion will be concerning contract negotiations.
Okay. So at this point, any public comment on any general issues of interest to the MCUA?
Yes, Charlie Cradaville, New Brunswick Today. Can you hear me?
Yes,
Yes.
I believe we can, yes.
Okay, thanks. I did want to know a little bit more about the executive session item. Can you tell us who the negotiations are with?
I don't think so. It will be revealed when the time comes, but at the moment we can't.
I believe
Okay.
generally we can just say it involves the GIF.
Okay. Thank you very much. The only other item I wanted to bring up today was the plans to build a 630 megawatt gas power plant in the Casby section of Woodbridge. This is something that, as a resident of New Brunswick, really concerns me. And I understand the MCUA already has a deal with Competitive Power Ventures for their first gas power plant there. And I just wanted to understand what the MCUA's position was on their proposal to basically double the size of that power plant.
I think our participation, I believe, has to do with what we call gray water, that we supply gray water to help with the cooling system. I believe that's our involvement with the present facility. I don't think anybody's made any inquiries about the second facility. Are you aware of any, Mr. Crine?
Chairman Wiley, I believe we have had some requests on the use of water. And in terms of Charlie's question, we don't have a position. It's been a request to potentially utilize our gray water, and that's pretty much it. So.
Okay. Well, I do think that in the interest of air quality and getting off of fossil fuels, this is a terrible idea. It was a bad idea to build the first plant in 2016. It opened, and it's an even worse idea to build the second power plant, here in 2021, when the governor has stated ambitious goals to transition from fossil fuels to renewables. We're not going to be able to do that if we're building gas power plants, especially in densely populated areas that are environmental justice communities, where the state, indicates these are already overburdened communities. Building more polluting.
Whoa. What was that?
Something happened. I'm not sure what.
That's about all I wanted to say on that. But I really encourage this board and the whole county government to take a stand against the construction of more dirty, polluting fossil fuel plants in our county. We don't need it. We don't want it. And obviously, the MCUA can get by without these kind of deals. So I hope that you won't acquiesce to the requests of the people who want to build this terrible thing in our community. Does anybody feel like responding to that, or do you feel the same way I do?
I'm not sure who should respond to you, Charlie, but I think people have an individual mode, and we'll see where we go with it. But certainly your comments appreciated and respected, that's for sure. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Is there any other member of the public that has any comments? Hearing none, I did a motion to go into executive session. Understand that we have to dial in by a separate number. Do I have a motion?
John, I'd like, before we get lost in space, I'd like to verify the call-in number and the conference ID number to make sure I got them right.
Okay.
Why doesn't Judy call in?
I had sent an email. I'll send another email real quick.
If you don't have it, contact Judy. I'll have to shut down the regular meeting and then go to the executive session.
Yeah,
correct?
there's entitled executive session call-in.
Okay.
And if you got access to your email, then it shouldn't be a problem.
Mr. Chairman, I would make that motion to go to executive. Ray Murray.
And is there a second?
Second.
Andre, second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carried.